Video we'll discuss about the role and deficiency symptoms of phosphorus and potassium. So first let's take up phosphorus. Role of phosphorus. Now phosphorus is mainly absorbed in the form of phosphate ions, absorbed or obtained by the plant so we can write it is obtained in the form of phosphate ions. It is obtained in the form of phosphate ions. Now this particular element, that is, it's a macronutrient, we all know that is phosphorus. Phosphorus element is actually present in the meristematic tissues and metabolically active cells. In meristematic tissues metabolically active cells. Now the next thing is that phosphorus is a part of plasma membrane. So it is a part of plasma membrane. It is in the plasma membrane, in the structure of the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. So that is plasma membrane has phospholipids. So we can write here phospholipids, those little structures. So if you have to draw a sample diagram, we can see like this, with the head and tail structures which are present on the inner membrane of the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. These kind of structures are present. These are nothing but phospholipids. Phospholipids. So phosphorus is a part of plasma membrane, and it is actually the phospholipids. It is in the phospholipids. So it is present in the plasma membrane. Now also the phosphorus is required for DNA and RNA synthesis. DNA and RNA synthesis. Deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. So these are the two nucleic acids that we talk about in biomolecules. The phosphorus helps in these two kinds of genetic materials. So DNA and RNA synthesis. The next thing, phosphorus is also required for ATP synthesis. Now this is very easy to memorize because, as the name tells us, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So we'll write it down. Adenosine triphosphate. So triphosphate means there are three phosphate molecules. So phosphate is obtained in the form of phosphate ions. Phosphate ions are actually the element phosphorus. So phosphorus is a part of ATP, and it helps in, we can tell, it helps in the ATP synthesis. So these are some basic roles of phosphorus in plants. Now let's talk about some of the deficiency symptoms of phosphorus. Deficiency symptoms. The first deficiency symptom, that is yellowing of leaves. Yellowing of leaves. So the leaves turn yellow in color due to the lack of chlorophyll, for the obvious reason, that is, we also call it as chlorosis. Chlorosis is the yellowing of leaves due to the lack of chlorophyll in the plant. Next thing, one more deficiency is there is stunted growth. Why there is stunted growth? This is because we told that phosphorus is in the plasma membrane, that is it is in the form of phospholipids. Now if there is no phosphorus, there is not enough phosphorus, then what happens is cell membrane growth won't take place properly, and if cell membrane won't form properly, then cells also won't divide properly. If cells won't divide, if there is a problem in cell division, then there is stunted growth. So that's why we can tell that phosphorus deficiency leads to stunted growth. The next thing, now this is a very weird thing, very strange and peculiar, and it is very rare, and it is only present in soya beans. So in soya beans, this condition is, that is, when there is deficiency of phosphorus, there is a lot of carbohydrate accumulation rather than protein accumulation. So carbs accumulation is more and protein accumulation is less. In normal conditions, in soybeans, we know that soybeans are very rich in proteins, right? So there needs to be a lot of proteins when there is no deficiency of phosphorus. But when phosphorus deficiency is there, carbohydrate is more in it. So carbohydrate accumulation takes place more rather than of proteins. Protein accumulation is very less in case of soybeans when there is deficiency of phosphorus. So here we talked about role and deficiency symptoms of phosphorus. Now let us take up another mineral nutrient, that is potassium. So role of potassium. Potassium is another macronutrient. It's a very important essential element. So macronutrients and micronutrients are actually essential elements that we have discussed in the introduction of this chapter video. So now we will talk about the role of potassium. Now potassium is mainly obtained in the form of potassium ions, obtained or absorbed, and all of these mineral nutrients are actually absorbed by the root hairs. So root hairs are the structures that come out of the root in the maturation zone of the root, and they actually absorb, the root hair absorb the water from the soil as well as some of the mineral nutrients of the soil. So role of potassium is, this potassium is actually obtained, not only potassium, whatever the element is, like let's say zinc or boron or as phosphorus that we have talked earlier, nitrogen, carbon, or whatever it is, all of these are absorbed in the ion form of the element. So obtained in the form of potassium ions. This particular element is obtained in the form of potassium ions. It is absorbed by the roots. Now one more thing, this potassium is present everywhere in the plant body, but especially it is present in the meristematic tissues. It is present in almost every part of the plant body, but mostly in case of meristematic tissues, this element is present, that is potassium. The next thing, potassium helps in protein synthesis. That is amino acid synthesis. So amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. They are the smallest and basic units of protein, that is amino acids. So it helps in amino acid synthesis or protein synthesis. The next thing, this is also a very unique function of potassium, that is it maintains anion and cation balance in the cells. So we can write, it maintains anion cation balance in the cells. So this is one thing. So we know that cation is a positively charged ion and anion is a negatively charged ion. So the potassium, it helps in maintaining the both of the balance, anion and cation balance. So it maintains anion and cation balance. in the cells. The next thing, this is also a very unique thing, unique function of potassium, that is it maintains turgidity of the cells. It maintains turgidity of the cells. Now turgidity, we have discussed this, we know what is turgidity. Turgidity is the expanding of the cell due to the internal pressure of mostly the fluid inside the cell. So what happens, we talked about this in the chapter of transport in plants. There we have talked about the osmosis process, that is what happens in plant cell and animal cell, what happens during turgidity and flaccidity, and how the cell shrinks or how the cell becomes turgid. That all things we have talked about in the chapter of transport in plants. But just to tell you what turgidity is, turgidity is the expanding of the cell due to the pressure inside the cells of the fluids. So what potassium does is it maintains the turgidity of the cells. Basically we can tell that it prevents the shrinking of the cells. So plasmolysis, there is plasmolysis in plant cells. Plasmolysis is the shrinking of the cytoplasm, all the cytoplasmic fluid, to one side of the cell. So we have discussed this in transport in plants chapter. So it maintains turgidity of the cells. The next thing, it is helpful in opening and closing of stomata. Helps in opening and closing of stomata. So opening and closing of stomata, the potassium, this helps in opening and closing of stomata. So we know that the stress hormone, that is abscisic acid, what it does is in plants, so here mineral nutrition we're talking about in plants mostly. So abscisic acid is the stress hormone. What happens is, the when temperature is high, that means when there is a lot of temperature, then what happens is there is a lot of stress for the plant. So what happens is stomata closes. So potassium, it helps in the opening and closing of stomata. It basically regulates the opening and closing of stomata in the mainly in the context of temperature. So this is about the role of potassium. Now let's talk about the deficiency symptoms. The first deficiency symptom, chlorosis and necrosis. Chlorosis and necrosis. We have talked about chlorosis. Chlorosis is the yellowing of leaves due to the lack of chlorophyll pigment in it. So yellowing of leaves become, they turn yellow in color or they lose pigment basically. So that is chlorosis and necrosis. So in necrosis, what happens? Necrosis is basically the dead tissue. So basically the tissue in the leaf, it becomes dead. The next symptom, the next deficiency symptom shown by potassium is that there is yellowing of the leaf margin. Yellowing of leaf margin. So the leaf margin of the leaf, that part mainly becomes yellow. Inside of the leaf it's green in color, but the margin of the leaves, it becomes yellow. So yellowing of leaf margin. The next thing, when there is potassium deficiency, this basically leads to increase in the activation of enzymes. So increase in the activation or enzyme action, we can tell that enzyme action. So basically enzyme action increases when potassium is deficient in a plant. So what happens is the enzyme basically increases, the enzymatic action increases, and mostly this particular thing, this increase in the enzyme action leads to more pigment formation. More more pigment formation. So it leads to more pigment formation. So pigment formation will be more, and when there is more pigment formation, there is basically extra pigmentation, and so extra pigmentation, and it appears like a brownish spot on the leaf, and this mainly occurs in fruits and in tubers mostly. So we can write extra pigmentation in fruits and tubers. We see some brown spots on these kind of plant parts, and we told that increase in enzyme action, and this enzyme is mostly tyrosinase. So in tyrosinase, more pigment formation will take place. This basically leads to more pigment formation, and the enzyme helpful here is tyrosinase, and this more pigment formation leads to extra pigmentation, mostly in fruits and tubers. There will be a brown spot in these plant parts. So here we discussed about the deficiency of potassium as well. So in this video we discussed about role and deficiency symptoms of phosphorus and potassium.